Okay, so welcome, and what we're going to be doing in this video is talking about the order of operations. So we'll take a look at this problem and maybe one or two others. So here we have a problem, 6 times 4 plus 2. You might want to take a quick moment and take a stab at this problem. All right, so some of you might have approached it this way. So it's 6 times 4 plus 2. This is quite easy. I'm just going to go 6 times 4. That's 24 plus 2, and you would get 26. So that looks pretty good to me. Okay, 6 times 4 is definitely 24, and 24 plus 2 is definitely 26. So most people will have no problem with this answer. But what about doing it this way? What if you went 6 times 4 plus 2, and you decided, for whatever reason, you said 6 times 4 plus 2, okay. 4 plus 2 is 6, so you went 6 times 4 plus 2 is 6, and now you said 6 times 6 is 36. All right, so both, at first glance look correct. Of course, one is right and the other one is wrong. And the one that's right is the one that followed the correct order of operations. And the winner would in fact be this one, 26. All right, so order of operations, I kind of want to just take a quick moment. Order of operations. I think it's worth a quick second just to explain this to you. Look at the name here, order of operations. What are we talking about? What kind of operations are we talking about? Well, we're talking about mathematical operations, and these here are mathematical operators: plus, minus, multiplication, and division. It's what you can do with the given any two numbers. If I give you any two numbers, let's say 4 and 6, you can add, subtract them, multiply, or divide them. Okay, so these are mathematical operators. There's some others, but this is, these are the main ones. Okay, and of course, order is which one of these are we going to do first. So we're going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And in mathematics, there is a definite set of, there's a definite order to these operations. So let me erase this here, and hopefully this set the table. If you got this one wrong in the beginning, not a problem, but hopefully by the time this video ends, you'll be able to see what you did wrong and be able to do these problems correct. So commit this to memory. PEMDAS. I'll give you a little mnemonic to remember it. It's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Maybe some of you remember that from your school days, or if you're still in school, your teacher might use that phrase. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, what does that mean? Okay, PEMDAS. Well, this is the order of operations, and we're going to start with this P here, and the P stands for parentheses. Anytime we see parentheses in a big mathematical expression, we want to do whatever's inside of those parentheses first. But the P, although and as far as acronym is concerned, it stands for parentheses, it could also mean brackets too. Okay, really technically it's grouping symbols. So parentheses or brackets, anything you see though, anytime you see parentheses or brackets, you want to focus in on doing the work inside of them. Okay. All right, E. E stands for exponents, but you could think of that as powers. Okay, so anytime you see powers, let's say like 2 cubed, all right, that's what E stands for. You want to do those next. Now the next two are not, so I think students confuse these as, well, first I want to just tell you what it stands for. M and D stand for multiplication and division. And students often confuse that, oh, I have to do multiplication first all the time before division. No, that's not correct. Okay, the way this one works is you're going to do multiplication and division, or division, whichever order you see them from left to right. Okay, that's really important. So if you see division first from left to right, you're going to do that first, okay? And vice versa. If you see multiplication first from left to right, then you're going to do multiplication. All right? And the last two here are A and S, and that's addition and subtraction. Write that over here. And it works the same way as multiplication division. You're going to do whichever comes first from left to right. All right, so that's basically how you can remember the order of operations, PEMDAS. So let me go ahead and erase this. Let's do a problem, and maybe if we have time, we'll do another problem. So I'm just going to make something up. Let's see here. What if I had 3 times 4 squared minus 1 plus 9 over 2, for example. All right. Okay, so what am I going to do first here? Well, one thing you want to know, and I didn't tell you this when we're talking about PEMDAS, is this big fraction bar. This is a big fraction, right? We're going to have some huge numerator. Okay, 3 times 4 squared minus 1 plus 9. All this is the numerator, and then 2 is the denominator. The big fraction bar kind of acts as a grouping symbol in and of itself. So we're going to conquer what's in the numerator and the denominator separately, and then we'll add them. We'll take care of them at the very end. All right, so let's just focus on the numerator right now. And you can see the numerator has these parentheses. So we're going to do that first. To make things easier, I'm going to actually write it this way. Okay. So I see some parentheses, some grouping symbols, so I have to do that part first, whatever's inside of it. And when you look inside, you have 4 squared minus 1. So you're saying, okay, I have another problem with inside of a problem. Okay, that's how often these order of operation problems are. So you just have to keep going and referring to your PEMDAS little checklist here. Okay. So I just did P. I'm looking inside of parentheses. Now I'm looking for exponents, and then I'm going to go through multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. And you can see here I do have some exponents. I have a power, and that's that 4 squared. So I'm going to do that next. So that's going to be 3 times 16 minus 1 plus 9. All right, and you can see I have no multiplication division. It's simply a subtraction problem inside this parentheses. So that's pretty easy to finish up. This would be 3 times 15 plus 9. Okay, so 3 times 15 plus 9. So what do I do next? All right, now remember, oftentimes the way you're going to see multiplication is this way right here. You're not going to have that multiplication operator, that x, but nevertheless it's still going to out trump. You have to do all multiplication and division before you take on addition and subtraction. So you need to take 3 and multiply it by 15. And of course that's going to be 45. Okay, and then we'll have 45 plus 9, and that's pretty easy. We can simply just add those together, and that's 54. All right, so all that work right there is the entire numerator. Okay, so when we did that, we followed the order of operations for the numerator, we got 54. All right, and now the denominator is simply 2. Okay, so 54 over 2, you could try to take 2 and divide it into 54 and make it into a mixed number if you like, but I don't think it's necessary. But you can see when you do your division here, you'll get 27. Okay, so 54 over 2 is in fact 27. Okay, I think that's going to be enough for just this particular video. Hopefully, you got this down, this PEMDAS. Order of operation problems can be pretty simple like this, and they can get much more complex. The thing is, as long as you know the correct order and you just take your time, you should be okay. All right, and if you made a mistake, go back and find out where you made it, and just try not to do it again. Okay, good luck.